Well, hello, Firas Khoury. It is great pleasure to meet you, even if in this particular way. Um, Thank you for a film, Maradona's Legs. You are in Tunisia, right?
Yeah, I live in Tunisia.
How is Tunisia today?
Well, Tunisia, after the uprising, the revolution, economically it's not too good, but it's a true democracy. And COVID-19 is not very heavy here, so we basically are living normal. I hope that things don't escalate.
Well, things are not normal here, but let's not get into that.
Uh,
I want to say that I loved your film, Maradona's Legs.
Thank you.
It is beautifully written, it is beautifully shot, but I would like to start with soccer, football. We were just talking before this conversation about the importance of soccer in the lives of people outside of the United States, most of them.
Mhm.
Can you tell us a little bit about your memories of the World Cup 1990 or any World Cup and the value of soccer? Obviously, the movie is not just about soccer, but let's start with that. What is the
Mm.
value of the stickers that the boys collect to you?
Well, the movie is not about soccer, but the movie, for me, I try to do a movie about passion and kids' passion, especially. And for me, collecting cards was a passion. I hope I can find something which is similar to the feeling that I used to have as a kid with these passions towards soccer and towards collecting cards. I can't explain it logically of why is it so important, but to say the least, it was the most important thing in my life. Like soccer and collecting cards was the most important thing in my life. It was the main concern. It occupied my mind. It occupied my mind all day. Love for soccer, I think, can be understood in the United States and worldwide. It's about the passion about your team, the passion about your team, the love for them to win, the agony and the sadness when they lose. Uh, it's beyond my understanding to analyze why does this have so much impact and affect our emotion, but it does very much, and I try to remember that during the film.
It is
uh, yeah, I try to remember that passion.
the passion is visible and beautiful in the film. What I like about the kids is that they are so very serious about it. We have to take their passion and the value of the sticker of Maradona's legs very, very seriously. At no point does it seem silly or frivolous that they want that sticker. You want that sticker with them, absolutely.
Uh,
But also, go ahead, sorry.
no, 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 I'm
Um,
not saying it. Yeah.
but what I also find very interesting is how the other kids do that too. The boy in the Argentine shirt who supports Argentina, the girl who saves them from the bullies, right? Who somehow knows who has the sticker in Nazareth, and I forgot his name. The boy in Nazareth who's very upset that Argentina lost. To them, that those matters are absolutely serious. Um, but it also happened against the background of the first Intifada, right? Which is a serious matter. They do not refer to it or talk about it, the kids that is in the movie, but the seriousness of their situation somehow is connected with the importance of the Intifada. Can you talk a little more about that connection?
Well, I live in a village in the north of Galilee, and the Galilee was quite quiet uh, at the times of the Intifada. We didn't really have an uprising. The second Intifada, we had an uprising inside the Israeli territories. But I live in North Galilee, which is considered Israel. But you know, we are a Palestinian community and part of the catastrophe. So at these times when I was a kid, we didn't really have anything on the ground that corresponds with the uprising that was going in the West Bank and Gaza. But we used to receive the information from the media, and we used to see Arabic media which shows the pictures of kids throwing stones, and we used to hear it on the radio. We capture the Lebanese and Syrian radio, but we never really had something on the ground. When I came to when I came to describe the 1990, I wanted to concentrate on the World Cup. I wanted to concentrate on the passion of soccer, but I found myself like it is impossible to describe this period without at least mentioning the political background that was going on. So I entered the Intifada, and Intifada for me is also an uprising. Intifada means uprising. Uprising is also a matter of collective passion. It's a collective passion to throw out the occupier. It's a collective passion that people gather around and do something. It's very spiritual, and it's something that goes in your veins, and you want to scream it out. You know, occupier, get out. So I think I tried to merge the passion for soccer with the passion for the Intifada, the passion for the uprising, which is a beautiful thing. I know it's a bloody thing, but it's also a beautiful thing that the people will rise and will say no. Okay, so when they say no, it's very important, and no to defeat, and in the film, the boys also been defeated as Brazilians fans. They've been defeated, but they also say no. So this is the way I mix both of them, I think, or I try to.
I think it's beautiful the way that the boys refuse the Atari game console so as to keep their completed sticker album. The value of a completed sticker album is hard to describe unless you collected the stickers. But also I wanted to
still have it. I don't have it anymore.
Yes.
I don't have these albums anymore. I don't know where are they, but
they in your heart.
Yeah,
I've lost
I was
mine
really
too.
happy when I have the full album of the film.
Yeah.
I keep the full album of the film because it's for me like it's something at least that reminds me of childhood.
Yeah. What is also interesting is that the passion the boys have for Brazil, as though they are Brazilian, right? Because in some ways, at least implicitly, they're longing for the nationhood that is visible in the World Cup, right? One of the beauties of the World Cup is this kind of patriotism is played out remotely on the soccer pitch. So the Brazilians are crazy about the Brazilian soccer team, and the Argentines are crazy. But there are countries and peoples who are not represented in the World Cup, right? And for many of us, that means we had to project onto others. And for Palestinian children, for Palestinian people, it is a kind of a distant goal, it seems to me, to reach a point in history where they could be represented in a situation like the World Cup, right? To have national jerseys and flags and be competing with other fully fully existing nation. I mean, Palestinian nation exists obviously, but I mean politically and administratively, legally, and so on in the World Cup. Can you talk a little more about that, the sense of belonging and patriotism that the boys might be developing in the film?
Well, I come from a place that it's a land, but we don't have a official recognized country by other nations. And the nations recognize our occupier, the state of Israel, and not us, the owner of the land, the native people. And so I don't have a country, and I don't have a national team. You know, Palestinians do play soccer, but you have a team on the West Bank, you have a team in Gaza. You have small teams of refugee camps and no national team. So we didn't have a flag to raise, and uh, actually at these times, at 1990, we were also not allowed to raise the Palestinian flag. You could be arrested if you raise the Palestinian flag. So we don't, the children in the film, and as a child, we didn't have a country, we didn't have a national team. So I think this is the reason why Palestinians are so passionate about other teams. And I think it's also something that have to do with superheroes, you know, superheroes for you as a child, mainly as a child, that you find yourself superheroes to identify with, to find resemblance between you and them, for them to be your idol. This is something that uh, is uh, is unique for children all around the world, that they want to find their superheroes. For me, Brazil was my superhero, and for other children, Argentina was the superhero. So you find a superhero and you support it, and you think that you want to believe and follow this superhero, and to believe in it, that it can defeat the evil sides, you know. Other teams are in some way are evil, and you are the good guy, you are Brazil. It reminds me with my cousin. She used to come when we were watching soccer as children. She used to come and ask us, who is the good guys and who are the bad guys? Who are the good guys and who are the bad guys? And you know, it's true. It's true, because when you follow a team, for you, it's a hero. It's a hero. So these are the main two reasons. First, the lack of a nation, the lack of a country that makes us support other teams. And second, the need for a superhero representative of you as a child.
I was going to ask you also about working with children, because the children, the boys are beautiful, and other children too. They are very well directed. I mean, for some reason, a lot of short movies shown at PRINDIE, there are children in them, and it's not always easy to see the depth of feeling or passion in a child. Sometimes they usually tend to be just innocent, right? Sort of simple and not complex. But these kids, their passion is so visible. The way they think on screen is amazing. Could you talk a little bit about working with the children, directing children?
This is my third film with children. I've done two before. One was called Yellow Moms, and I will send it to you if you like.
I've read about it, but I have not seen it. I would love to see it, yes.
Yeah, remind me, I will send it to you. It's my first short, and it is also with children. And I have a second one, which is like a film with a 2.5-year-old child. And this is my third film with children. Basically, I love children very much. They bring me joy. And there are some specific techniques that I can talk about of how to cast these children, how to find them. And the main thing I think is to look around a lot, see a lot of kids, because you usually you write a script. You write a script. It's about children, and they should be serious in the script, and they should be ambitious and want to reach their goal and want to achieve and to be fully there. So the best thing to do is to find real boys in the world which are similar to the characters in the film. So this is the way. Other than that, you find a great talent. Like for me, the two kids, Rafat, the older brother, and Fadl, the younger brother. Rafat, the older brother, is an actor. He is an actor. He is a
He's
good
an actor.
actor, and he wants to be an actor. He wants to be an actor when he grow up, and he's very good at it. He can act a lot of faces, variations, colors. He is a true actor. The second one is basically himself. You see, he's
Right.
not a really good actor, but he is serious. And that is one of the most important things to know when you work with children. I don't have time. You know how film works. I don't have time for a not serious kid, a kid who is not serious, and I don't have time for playing. You know, an action is an action, and time costs us money, unfortunately. So we need you to work. We need you to be there fully, and that's how I work with children. I choose them when they are passionate to acting, passionate to be in the film, when they want to be fully there, when they are serious. So these are the characteristics that I look when I search for children. And
Can
if
I
you see, yeah, if you
go
see
ahead,
my
sir?
first film, it's also more. There are more characters there, so you will get another impression, I believe.
I would love to see it. And it seems to me that in that situation, maybe in any situation, that to have a well-developed script is very, very useful. That is, it would be very hard to improvise with children because they don't have the range of 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 skills, I suppose, or concentration. So can you talk a little bit about the way you developed the script, where you got the idea, how it worked for you? I mean, how many drafts, when you knew you had the final version, and then how did the kids, the actors, engage with the script?
Yeah. Well, first of all, regarding improvise, I think it depends on the style of the film. My style in this film is it's a very accurate film, animation almost. It's like, every shot is written before the improvisation, uh, uh, like it wasn't evident uh, in the acting and in the script. It's also wasn't evident in the shooting. The film was shot as an animation. See, it was very accurate to do these shots, and when the shot starts and when the shot ends and everything. So this is about so it depends. In other film, I would love to do an improvisation with children, and they are good with improvisation, and they can do a lot of interesting things, I believe.
Mm.
uh, I've done courses with children as young as 3 years old. I love to work with children, and sometimes I do workshops for them. And 3 years old can improvise.
Yes,
You'll be amazed. Yeah, 3 years old can improvise, and it depends how much actor you are, how much of an actor you are. So, and 3 years old can be an actor, and he can know what acting means, and he can improvise. So this is from the one side. Regarding the script, well, the script is based on a memory that I have. It's not like the film, but me and my brother were missing a card in the album, and it was a legs of some player. I forgot who it was he. So it's based on that. I tried to be loyal to the period, to my thoughts. Then I am the younger child. To my vision, or to my not vision, to my uh, look to society. How do I see the world around me? I try to be loyal to that. You know, I follow my big brother. I hear what he says, even if he says nonsense things. I hear what he says, and it took me about, I think, 8 drafts to develop a script. Is like it's like for me, something which you build like step by step. I I put on the whole story at the beginning, and then I tried to color it a little bit here and there. How do you color it? You add things to it that comes back. You know, this is this is the way I try to do it. That you add things that they come back, and they become a motif.
Leitmotif, yes.
Yeah, a leitmotif. They become a leitmotif in the film. And this is how you color it. And then you take this, you put it aside, then you go back to it. Then you try to color the characters. You try to give them more weight, try to give them more characteristics. So you color that. Then you try to color the art, the decor, like the art. You try to color everything, and you add and you add and you add. And I'm sure if you give me one more year with the script, I would add more things that I will make it more colorful. Okay, but
No,
I'm pleased with it. I'm pleased with it, and I think the most thing that I'm pleased with is the fact that I really uh, wrote down in camera what I have imagined in my mind. Uh, and that I was very accurate. I progressed during time, though a lot of people say that my first film is better than this one. I don't know, but for me as a director, I progressed, meaning I knew what I wanted and how to do it fast, because unfortunately, again, time is money. So that's why I called it, I tried to do this film as an animation. Okay, like
so did you
the
have a
method
story?
of
Did you have
the
a
method of
storyboard?
not a storyboard, but I write.
Right.
I write. I'm also a writer. I write in uh, social critique, and sometimes film critique, and I write stories. I'm publishing 2 books now. So I'm also, I think, I write. I'm a writer. So I describe with the most boring details of really everything how I want it to be. I don't know how to draw, and I don't think that I can make somebody draw what I imagine. But at least I can write in Arabic and in English what I have in my mind for the DOP and the art director and the lighting and the wardrobe to understand what I want. So I write it very specifically. I specify things to achieve what I want.
Um,
So yeah,
can I ask you this? I'm a writer too, and I have written scripts. And
yeah,
there's a difference between writing literature and writing scripts.
Yeah.
And what is the difference for you? What is the main difference? Why is writing a short story different from writing a script, or rather, why is writing a script different from writing a short story?
It's a very different. It's like comparing literature to script is like comparing painting to theater. Really, it's very different. It's something that is very different. Uh, really, for me, it's something very different. Enjoying, I think always about the enjoyment of the receiver, the people who read or watch, or so I and the enjoyment in reading is totally different than the enjoyment of watching a film. A script is just a manuscript in order to perform it as a film. It's like a sketch that you will paint later and make a painting out of it. So I think it's totally different. And when I write literature, and when I write books, when I write scripts, I write something else different. The only something that they have in common for me is the language, the ability to use language in order to give the feeling, to broadcast the feeling to the receiver using language. So luckily, I am into books and into literature, and my main language is Arabic. Luckily, I can express myself very good with this language. That this I use in scripts, okay? But for me, scripts has nothing to do in literature. The majority of the films that the adaptation films from books to scripts that I saw are lousy. The majority, yeah, are bad, and it's another medium, another thing. Films and books are another thing. But what you can do is take a painting and inspiration from it and make a music theme out of it. It's the same. I can take a book and make some inspiration from it to make uh, a script, and of course I can keep the story. But how do you tell it? It's an adaptation. That's what it is. It's an adaptation. It's something else. It's totally something else. And a good adaptation, it's something that doesn't stay loyal to the book, like Apocalypse Now or The Shining. Totally you know, just free out of there.
Right.
No, it's not about the book. The book is only a reference that gave idea to the director. That's it.
I agree.
Yeah.
What is your next project, film project? You write books. I would love to hear about the books too, but it's a script film class. What are you working on? What are you going to do next?
Well, I have 3 feature scripts. Three
in development?
No, all finished.
Oh, okay.
I'm just a poor director. I don't have a country to fund me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have money, so I'm not making them already. But I recently finalized my funding for my first feature film. So I hope I can shoot it soon. Depends on the coronavirus.
Right.
It's called The Flag. The film is called The Flag, and I've been working on it for lots of years. I've done casting to the film, and we are hoping that if everything goes well with the coronavirus, and that travel and so on, and not facing any restrictions, so we're gonna shoot in mid of September. But the reason why I'm whining about being a poor director is because I really like it. Took me 10 years to finance this film.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Well, maybe it's because my first feature film, and as I told you, I don't have a country, so I don't have where to apply. Um, so hopefully that, you know, now we get the money, so we're gonna shoot, and it depends on the coronavirus. Other than that, I'm working on another feature film, and the third script that I finished recently. So just give me money and I'll shoot.
Just the
And
money. Everything else is ready.
I have two books. One is short stories and one is poetry. So I try to amuse myself and keep myself busy in writing. That's why I said I'm also a writer, because the truth is I spend most of my time writing and not directing. But I hope that one day I would only focus on directing, because it's my only passion, and it's my drug, and it's where I feel alive. And uh, this is, yeah, it's almost like the passion of the kids for the stickers, you know.
Yeah.
This is my passion. This is my passion. This is where I belong. So that's
Well,
what I hope for.
a sticker is an image. You have had a commitment to images from a very
Yeah,
early age.
yeah.
Well, I wish you good luck with the flag and all your
Thank
future
you.
work. I will look for your future films. I will try to see what I haven't seen yet. Thank you very much for sharing it with PRINDIE and my students at Princeton.